my friends. It is time, once more, to do the Cursed Discourse TM. Good morning, my name is Louis Baton. Thank you all for stopping by. If this is your first time watching, then hello, welcome. Chuck me a follow because I have just updated the follower alert with a cool new sound effect. I am an Australian left-wing progressive streamer. Sorry, I'm a little sniffly today. Despite being an Australian streamer, I like to talk about a lot of what's going on in America because, hey, I mean, like, America, after all, is the center of the world, so gotta cover that. So I stream early my time to try and get in on that American audience. I also like to stream in the evening my time, you know, more of an Australian stream for the Australians. Those tend to be more Australian-centric in their topics. Now, excuse me, some of the things that I cover on this stream are things like workers' rights, minority rights, in particular trans and indigenous rights, and I also like to talk about masculinity, which is what we are here to talk about today. I was actually not going to stream this morning, just not really because I didn't want to, but just because I didn't really have anything to cover. I was like, I suppose I could, like pull some, I don't know, Daily Wire videos or something, or check out, what PragerU's up to. I was like, I don't know. I wasn't really thinking that. It feels a little bit disingenuous. So instead, I was like, whatever. Unless something comes my way, I'm not going to cover it. Lo and behold, ask and you shall receive. The gift that keeps on giving. Twitter.com gave me some discourse to talk about. Now, before I go any further, let me open the stream properly by, shut up. By acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land from which I'm coming to you, live from. The Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I'd like to pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging, and welcome any indigenous people joining us today. Do I look a little bit washed out? I do a little. Let me just turn the light down a little. How's that? That's better. Much warmer. Anyway. So, where was I? Oh yeah, masculinity. So yeah, as a man who considers himself to be masculine, and I define that that to be whatever I want in my own terms. Same thing for all other men. I get very frustrated when I see people on the internet putting forth about this is what a man is, this is what a man has to be, this is what's masculine, this is not masculine, this is feminine, men shouldn't do this because it's feminine, men shouldn't do this because it's masculine, the other way around, men should do this because it's masculine. Now, the overarching theme to this is that kind of the meme of, men that should just do what they want. Well, in a roundabout way, you're telling men what they need to be. I mean, the whole meme of the MGTOW movement is that it's not men going their own way, it's men going our way. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I saw online today, and about how it relates to masculinity, and about, maybe looking at the concept in a more positive light. So, here's the actual stuff that kicked it off to begin with. From Masculine Soul on Twitter. Breaking Bad, August 9th. That's today's date, yes. Breaking Bad was one of the last soy-free shows on American television. And here we have a quote from the main villain, Gustavo. A man provides. He does it even when he's not appreciated, or respected, or even loved. He simply bears up, and he does it. Because he's a man. Okay. So this is apparently seen as soy-free. Okay. We're not even going to talk about the soy shit. So, let's break down Breaking Bad a little bit. So, if you don't know, which is fair because it's 2021 now and Breaking Bad finished in like 2015, 2016? Even that, was it even that late? Anyway, so Breaking Bad's been finished for quite a few years now. Basically, the show is about a highly overqualified chemistry teacher who raises money for cancer treatment after being diagnosed by cooking meth. The villain here, Gustavo, runs a drug empire, and at one point in season 2 or 3, hires the main character, Walt, to cook meth for him. There you go. Now, poor masculine soul here. Poor oblivious masculine soul. Poor incapable of critical thinking masculine soul, if I poison the world sufficiently. Our friend here, masculine soul, unfortunately, isn't capable of critically thinking. Now, one of the main overarching themes throughout the whole series of Breaking Bad, if not like the most central theme, is a critique of masculinity, of dangerous masculinity, of, I guess, what you would call toxic masculinity, you know. So many of the problems, the conflict in the show is caused by men feeling they need to be masculine. In fact, like, the entire series is kicked off because Walt refuses to let his millionaire friend pay for his cancer treatment. In one of the... It's either the first or the second episode. It must be the first episode. Oh, hello. Last I checked, Fox News is pretty soy-free. That counts as a show. Are you kidding me? Fox News is like the most soylent-fueled show ever. Whining petulantly about election fraud and critical race theory. That has to be like the most soy show ever. My god. But thank you for your contribution. Yes, so very early on the series, I think it's episode 1, Walter goes to a friend of his that he hasn't seen in years' birthday party. This friend has found out about Walt's cancer diagnosis, and Walter... and he offers to pay for Walt's treatment. In fact, not even. He offers him a job at the company that Walt used to work at. Kind of implying that, hey, you know, because, you know, your healthcare is attached to your occupation in America. If you come work for the company, then your healthcare that you get will be able to pay for your treatment, no problem. Now, not only does Walt refuse to, what's his name? Let Elliot pay for his treatment, but he won't even take the job. He's too proud. That's Walt's worst flaw as a character, is his pride. Now, pride is intrinsic to masculinity. Excuse me. A masculine man has to be a proud one. If you're not a proud man, then you're not a man. Being proud in what you have, even, like, not even being proud, but a sense of acceptance and humility as well. Like, it kind of a sense of being proud, but also being, like, content with your lot. Like, it's not necessarily saying that you should not strive for better, but like, what you have in your own sphere is something to be proud of. And this is Walt's problem, is that he's never content, you know. The whole point of, like, the series starting off is that he's way overqualified as a chemistry teacher, um, you know, opted out of the business that he started with Elliot due to some romantic conflicts with a girl they both liked. Um, he starts off making meth, and he's not content to be a small fish. And even when he's got way more money than he ever needed, he's still not content until he's basically a kingpin in the drug scene in not just the state of Albuquerque, but America. No. Is Albuquerque a state? I don't know. Anyway, bringing you back to this quote itself. This speaks to the idea of the disposability of men. Now, the state is New Mexico. That's it! Albuquerque's a city, the state is New Mexico, you're right. It's been years since I've watched that show. Disposability is another key factor in masculinity, which also relates strongly to pride. You should be proud in your disposability. You should be proud that you work yourself to the bone to provide for your family. You should be proud that you put your life on the line for your country and your family. It's like this weird gaslighting of men, like to trick men into dying in war. We set it up as the left would say this is toxic masculinity. Absolutely, this is toxic masculinity. Like, it's a way of tricking men into thinking that their lives have meaning. I've talked about on this channel before about how religion plays its role, how men are given the template of God to look up to. Like, God is an analogy for men, like God as the head of the family. When a man raises a family, he's playing God, because we call God Father. God is the highest authority. The analogy of God is a way to kind of trick people into respecting male authority with the father at the head of the family. But again, it's all just smoke and mirrors. What men really grow up to be is not God. Men grow up to be Jesus. They're tricked into thinking that they grow up to be God, but they grow up to be Jesus. Jesus represents the disposability of men at the hands of their father. It's a way of, well, like I was just talking about, a way of tricking men into accepting their disposability and willingly be disposable. And again, bringing it back to Breaking Bad, this whole concept of a man does what he has to, if he's not appreciated, respected, or even loved, because that's what men do. And again, that's dangerous. That kills men. It not just kills men, it kills the people around them. When men bottle this up, all this emotion up, when men keep it to themselves, eventually they end up lashing out at the people around them. They kill themselves, they kill their families. Everyone loses. Jesus is a woman named Yeshua or Joshua in English. We had wars fought over this. Really? That's pretty cool. Is Jesus like a cis woman or a trans woman? I mean, technically, if Jesus is just one aspect of the Trinity, so Jesus is God, and God is omnigender, so I mean, God is a man, woman, and everything in between. Anyway, I also wanted to talk about, given that Walter White is such a bad representation of masculinity, because really, like I was saying before, the whole point of the show is to critique masculinity. Look at the men in this, no man finishes the series in a good position. No man wins in that show. It just goes to show how this culture of violence, what it does to people, and Breaking Bad is an especially good example. Because a lot of people finish the show hating Skylar, when really, Skylar was the real victim. if you walked away from the show hating Skylar, then Fred, I might have some bad news for you. Let me see. I wanted to talk about some different representations of men in media, so let's look at a more positive one. Here we go. Geralt of Rivia is one such example. Geralt of Rivia is undeniably a masculine man. Geralt of Rivia, embodies so many masculine archetypes. He's gruff, he's short-tempered, he's obviously a very capable fighter, he's very physically fit, very dry sense of humour, doesn't take crap, very much an archetypical man. But at the same time, he fills that role of that hyper-masculine man while having some traits that are not really considered traditionally masculine. And he's very caring, he's very respectful, he's a great father figure to Ciri. One of the key things about the whole Witcher series, let me try and find it, is that the author Sapkowski did a great job of slipping in politics without it so much being obvious. For instance, how elves and dwarves are presented in the show are great analogies. Dwarves especially. Dwarves are presented as, stereotypical Jews. Excuse me, but then, they're made the most sympathetic characters in the show. In the show, in the book series, the dwarvish characters, they're all these great characters. Everyone loves them, even though you're set up to despise them. Found it. Okay, let's read a little bit about this. Is just how SJW The Witcher is. So we got 8 books. So let the main character suffer from otherness, prejudice, and stereotypes, interpolate anti-racist taunts at every step, make stereotypical Jews out of the dwarves, and use the dwarves as the most positive race to criticize prejudice. All side characters suffer mainly from their prejudice and superstitions, criticize nationalist attitudes, despise militarism, promote pacifism, let the main character try to solve problems without bloodshed. Another thing which I forgot to mention about Geralt of Rivia, just because he's a great fighter, he always tries to avoid bloodshed first. Promote internationalism, make most monarchs arsehole, support pro-eco movement, criticize and institutionalize religion at every step. All her representatives are villains. The only positive representative of the clergy is Wiccan neo-pagans, who are only women. Criticize xenophobia and homophobia. Half of main characters are at least bisexual. Geralt of Rivia is bisexual, I'm sorry, it's canon. They live in non-sacramental relationships, shagging everything. Women's characters are stronger than men. True. They cannot have children, and the majority do not have a problem with it. Sorceresses actually rule the majority of kingdoms. Let them perform abortions professionally and support that. Express support for a multicultural society and acceptance of otherness. Describe how the victims become criminals. Make it a subject of several volumes. Let the main character and his lover die during the racist pogrom. Spoiler. Make Ciri come from Sintra, Portuguese, Spanish state. Her grandfather from Turkish Arabic land and elven blood, swarthy humanoids from outside the continent. So yeah. Yeah, that's how much SJW logic there is in The Witcher. Now, not all of that, obviously, wasn't just about Geralt, but Geralt plays a big part in that. Geralt is undeniably a masculine man. However, you see a little bit in the games, but especially in the books, you really get an idea of, despite not being able to have kids, and really it not really being relevant to his character beforehand, he is a great father figure for Ciri. Probably better than what she had originally. Who was her father? Don't remember. This is a positive representation of masculinity in media. And yet, people look to shit like this as this is what a man has to be. Fuck me, guys. Come on. You have a good representation right here. If you want to be a masculine man, here you go. Just drop all the bullshit about how you have to just, like, not show any emotion. That's so crap. Let's look at another example in media, and this unfortunately is not a positive example, but this is another example of masculinity in media that these fucking masculinity types absolutely froth the fuck over. Here we go, from Fight Club, Tyler Durden. Fuck me. A lot of guys who identified with Tyler Durden in their teens sure seem to love the cops these days. Curious. Tyler Durden is not an example of positive masculinity. Tyler Durden is an example of this real destructive kind of masculinity. Now, it's a very different... I mean, he was very mentally ill, though, in Fight Club. But see, like, that doesn't matter. Like, the kind of guys that are like, soy face, Tyler Durden, yeah! The kind of guys that like that don't give a shit if he's mentally unstable. Like, he's a different kind of masculine man to Walter White. Very different. Like, Walter White's all about that, like, a man has to be a provider kind of masculinity. And Tyler embodies more of that, like, go your own way, do your own thing. Don't let anyone hold you down. Don't let society try and imprison you. Now, so many of these ideas, like, are good on the face. Like, I'll give you that, alright? A lot of these ideas are good conceptually. Like the idea of don't let yourself be defined by society's constructs. That's why, you know, I talk all about, in terms of like sociology, the sociological imagination, about having agency to push back against society's influence, because without critical thinking, you can't think for yourself. Because without critical thinking, you can't identify the influences in your lives which push you towards constructing a certain identity. So that is a good concept. However, and the same thing for Breaking Bad. The concept of, like, you know, providing for your family, providing for the needy. Again, that's not a bad idea. But in Breaking Bad, it's not just providing for your family, it's going beyond that. It's the idea that your worth is tied to how much you can provide, and that you're not a man unless you're, like, working your fingers to the bone. The same thing in Fight Club. You're not a man unless you're this hyper individualistic hyper individual. Alright. And ironically, a lot of the guys that look up to Tyler Durden really turn out to be pretty much cookie cutter copies of each other. Because I guarantee that this fucker, masculine soul, guarantee that he's the kind of guy who would say he's for individuality, but would look at a man being individualistic and having a problem with it. In fact, another thing that I pulled for today is an example of somebody being an individual. And if you have a problem with it, well, sucks to you, alright? Now, I don't know how this person identifies. They may not identify as a man. I have no idea. However, if they do identify as a man, then this is one hard cunt. Alright? This is one absolute fucking G. Because this person doesn't give a fuck. This person's doing their own thing. Which, I'm sorry, I thought masculinity was all about doing your own thing. Alright? Let's take a look at it.
1 sec. Democracy's calling. See you, Daddy. Bye.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and this is a day in my life as a White House intern.
We did a joke. Hey, everyone. Vogue.
Usually I start off with a big coffee. Sorry, they're like really strict in here.
Hey, Jenny. I booked you a nail appointment, love.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to do that.
It's called Initiative. Hi, White House. This is Cooper. I don't think so. Oh, doesn't matter.
This is actually the entrance to the West Wing. This is so fun, and it's really prestigious.
Hey, POTUS. Is Olivia Rodrigo still here?
No. We've come a long way in our fight against this virus. We've vaccinated 160 million Americans. Are you getting this all down?
Don't worry, Queen. It's all right here.
Cooper.
Sorry, Miss Jen. And Jen, don't forget to have fun. Spirit fingers, Mama.
We need to get shots in the arms of every single American.
I'm heading to a haircut.
Comment if you want me to make more of these.
Who are they? I actually have no idea. It was just some random video from TikTok that I saw on Twitter, and this person who's sharing it has a problem. Okay, I've been holding myself back from asking, but please can someone tell me what is happening in America? What's happening is that this guy, or this person, I don't know how they identify, is living their best life, alright? As I said, excuse me, but I'm sorry, I was under the impression that being a man, being masculine, meant doing your own thing and not caring what anyone thought. I thought, I had this crazy idea, it's almost as if I've been raised in this social contract for the last 27 years. I thought that being a man meant you live how you want, you dress how you want, you act how you want, you talk how you want. And that is masculine, and at the end of the day, you do it for yourself, not anybody else. Forgive me, but I was under the impression that that's what a man was. So for anybody who has a problem with Cooper, all I have to say is tough tits. They are living their fucking best life. And if you have a problem with that, well, that's not very masculine then, is it? What are people saying? I don't see the problem here. Based! We are on our way to hell, or at least Babylon, but there is a remnant army rising. The bride of Christ is putting on her combat boots. I believe we will win in this fight in the strength of King Jesus. Revival is coming. The bride of Christ? What, his sex worker girlfriend? We're forgetting that aspect? All these people who have a problem with it... Wait, hang on. A few more replies. All these people who have a problem are forgetting that, as I've fucking said like 1,000 times now, being masculine means doing your own fucking thing. Look at this shit. Look, all these people have a problem with this. Seriously. Justify what's wrong here. You want to talk about masculine men? This person doing their own thing. How is it unmasculine? Unironically, this person is more masculine than this masculine soul fuck. Let's take a look at their Twitter. Oh look, we have a fucking Roman statue DP. Just gonna ignore the fact that the Romans were rampant bisexuals. Miss a week at the gym and you'll start to notice. Miss a month at the gym and your friends will start to notice. Miss a year at the gym and all your hard work is gone. Winners don't take days off. I mean, that sounds like some shitty friends, alright? And the saying is, winners don't do drugs. We just hit 10k followers. This account has been and always will be about self-improvement for men, fitness, finances, and females. Ugh. Anyone who refers to women as females. The holy trinity of male success. Oh god. I want every single one of you to become a winner, and I won't stop until that happens. Doubt. TikTok is for watching thoughts with daddy issues twerk on an iPhone camera. Instagram is for watching broke, self-absorbed narcissists pretend their lives are cool. Twitter is for learning how to get rich, swoop ladies, and get jacked as fuck. Jesus Christ. Is this masculine to you? Is this what masculine masculinity means? Because this just screams insecurity. Remember, trying to control a girl is weak and futile. If she's not behaving as you want her to, soft next to her and move on. Wait, oh, fuck. I thought that was... Initially, I was like, okay, that sounds cool. You shouldn't try to control women. But hang on, it's saying, like, no. If you can't find a woman that you can control, then find one you can. Okay, that's fucked. Weak men spend time and money on pleasure. Strong men spend time and money on their vision. What if their vision is pleasure? Every time you're having a bad day, just remember somewhere in the world a simp just spent half his paycheck on an OnlyFans model who doesn't even know what his name is. Build a strong masculine frame and you'll never simp for a woman again. Okay. 40% of men are obese. 1 in 3 men take or have taken medication for depression. Men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide than women. Why? Why are men more likely to commit suicide? Because of people like you that tell men that they can't show their emotions, that they can't go and get help for their emotions, that they need to keep them bottled up. That's why the suicide rate is so much higher. Think! It just seems like someone doesn't get enough attention outside of the internet. I mean, yeah, you're right. Pros over hoes is often said jokingly, but it's also a piece of golden wisdom. A man who picks a whore over his brothers is not a worthy member of the tribe. Oh my god, the fucking LARP. This just screams insecurity. You can't spend all your time with people with no hobbies, no goals, no ambitions, and then expect to be high-achieving, successful, ahead of the curve. Why not? Yes, you can. Just be born rich. Oh dear. The biggest challenge of growing up in a Western country is finding a hobby that doesn't involve mindless consumerism, drugs, or spending time in front of a screen. If you can manage this, I'm not exaggerating when I say you will be light years ahead of 99% of your peers. If you're gonna use social media, make it work for you. Buy my book. They told me I need to see a therapist, so I started lifting heavy-ass weights, training a martial art, soaking in the sun, talking to beautiful women, and making money online instead. What is your therapy? Men will literally do anything other than go to therapy. Jesus. Stop asking for girls' numbers. Have her hand your phone with the new contact screen open and tell her to give it to you instead. Try this! Guarantee it'll work like a charm! Oh yeah, dude. Just walk up to random women and be like, here. What a joke. Far out. Arguing on the internet is a habit for the poor and the unhappy. Wait, an argument for the poor? Okay. High IQ plus high testosterone equals kings. Low IQ plus high testosterone equals warriors. Low IQ plus low testosterone equals slaves. High IQ plus low testosterone slaves deluded into believing they're kings. Oh god. Oh god. Oh great, here we are. The porn take. Most men don't get laid because they watch porn. As far as the brain is concerned, you're getting tons of pussy from hot chicks. In reality, you're busting nuts to pixels on a damn screen. Once you quit, you restore the biological urge to go out and get some. Oh, God. Oh. Also, I hope I don't get pinged for... I just realized that that fucking TikTok had copyrighted music, so I hope I don't get pinged for that. Christ's sake. Men will really do anything to avoid going to therapy. What's so frustrating about this shit is that masculinity is a topic that I'm really, really passionate about. Like, not only do I enjoy talking about it, but I'm really interested in addressing the problems faced by men in 2021. I'm really interested in finding solutions. And I get so frustrated when I see absolute dumb shits looking at the worst elements of masculinity, like in Breaking Bad, and walking away from that thinking like, wow, Like, Gus is right. This is what men need to be. Like, Walt is so based for doing his own thing. Skylar's a bitch. You're missing the point. It's so frustrating when you want to have a conversation about, hey, here's what's good about masculinity, here's what's not so good. What can we take from this ideal to create a healthy, positive masculinity in 2021 when you have people out here with, what, 10k followers? 10.5k followers putting out these ideas like, this is what a man is, and if you're not this, then you're weak. Like, the fucking, like, high IQ, high testosterone. Like, oh my god. Fuck me. Stop being so insecure. Get over yourself. And let people be however they want to be. Seriously. Again, unironically, Connor from that TikTok, way more masculine than fucking Masculine Soul. It is so goddamn frustrating, alright? Just be the man that you want to be. If you want to be like everyone else, that's fine, as long as it's a conscious decision that you've made. But if you want to be different in some way, then do it. I don't let anyone tell you that you're any less masculine for it. So yeah. That's the discourse on masculinity. I don't know, didn't really have anything else to talk about. So hey, thanks for watching. I like to do these talks all the time on topics like masculinity, so hey, if you want to see more, then hit that follow button. It would mean a lot. And we also, as you can see, have our daily donor goal to buy me pizza. I am a poor student, but I do love pizza. So hey, if you've got a couple extra bucks lying around that you don't know what to do with,
Something bad, and you deserve to be punished.
hell yeah. I'm glad we got to test out the new audio bite for new follows. That's just a little quote from Philosophy Tube. You've been bad, and you deserve to be punished. How do I even say that? Raskolnikov. Raskolnikov the murderer. Thanks you for the follow. I wish you had an easier name to say. Anyway, let's see. Yeah. That's about all it. Look, just live your own life. Don't let anyone tell you how you need to live, alright? Just have fun, as long as you're not hurting anyone else. And if you are hurting anyone else, just make sure it's consensual. I'm Louis Vuitton, thanks for watching. Join your union.